Good morning. Welcome to the Carla Marie and Anthony Show. My name is Anthony.
I'm Carla Marie.
You, of course, are the show. You in the chat, you in the comments on YouTube. If we ever get our phone lines working again, you on the phone lines.
Nope.
It's just, sometimes technology does weird things.
I think Mercury's still in the microwave.
Oh, is it? I thought
No.
Venus was in the microwave.
They're all in the microwave.
Weren't there 3 planets or something in the
I
microwave?
just almost Googled microwave. Yeah, there was more than one. This was supposed to be a bad one.
Oh, Mercury is in retrograde,
Yeah,
according to Unicorn Cindy.
It's been for a bit.
Also, I know that we have a birthday that we are celebrating today. Miss Teehee
Woohoo!
said it is her birthday, which means...
Oh, yeah.
I was listening to a lot of Arabic music over the weekend because there was this DJ. I saw a bunch of people sent me his clip. It was some DJ podcast thing, and one DJ was asking this guy, I think he goes by DJ Habibi, actually. Let me double check. Is it DJ Habibi? I know his party is called Habibi's House in LA. But either way, someone I'm sure will correct me in the chat. My cousin Michelle sent me his playlist after his portion of that podcast kind of went viral, at least in like the Arab world, because the person who was interviewing him was asking him like, what are 3 Arabic songs that you could put on at like any Arabic party? And they were all very, very good. And then I listened to his playlist and I was just rocking out. I was like literally Saturday night while you were at the Shania Twain concert, I was rocking out to Arabic music at the gym. And then I drove around for a little bit and just rocked out to some more Arabic music.
Like my grandparents.
Yeah, that was about it. Shout out to Jen and Lisa, who each gifted 3 community subs. Appreciate that. If we do get a hype train going, Carla Marie, what are we getting today?
We have a Bowls margarita.
All right, it's good to know.
Mercury is in retrograde until May 14th.
Oh, wow.
That is like...
That's annoying.
I feel like when Mercury's in retrograde, it's like we all have PMS. Like that's
well,
like
the technology is supposed to, right?
essentially, but then it affects the rest of us.
Yeah. Yeah, but if ours is reactionary, although I guess the attitude that women give while they have PMS is also reactionary.
Be careful.
Careful of what?
Just be careful.
Of
Just
what?
tread lightly.
I don't tread lightly. I don't know. I don't have light feet. That's the one problem.
It's because you're flat foot.
I'd be a much better dancer if I had light feet. I'm very heavy on my feet.
It's because you're flat-footed.
I'm not flat-footed.
Sure are. Have you seen your foot?
Yeah. I'm not flat-footed.
What?
Sky Michaela? No, what is it?
Sky Michelle.
Oh, it is Michelle.
I mean-
Thank you very much for the sub. Appreciate that. And then we also have Z from NYC who subscribed with Prime. And that does mean, through all of those things that just happened, a hype train has started, Carla Marie. And we're already at level 3. This is awesome. So level 3 of the hype train, once we get through level 5, meaning we have to complete level 5, we'll have that ready to drink margarita. That's a cool bottle. Can you grab that for a second?
Hold on. I'm taking off the number that's on it. This is what they used during the blind tasting.
So Seattle, our friends at Seattle Cocktail Club obviously gave us this because they're doing their ready to drink awards. This is a cool bottle. I feel like if you took this out, if you were having people over and you took this out at a party, no one would question it. It wouldn't look like you were having a I don't know. It's just like...
You'd be like, oh, look at
looks
this
refined.
thing I got from France.
Yeah, what's the company?
Bowls, B-O-L-S.
And you just pour that over ice and it's a full margarita. How many margars are in there?
Product of the Netherlands.
How many margars are in there?
Well, that one we had last week, this is 3 to 4. So note to self, don't pour.
Alicia from the 215, thank you very much for those 300 bits. Who else do we have in here that hooked us up? I want to make sure I didn't miss anyone. I think I got everybody so far.
I feel like tequila's been a part of my main food groups lately.
That's probably not a good thing. Also on the list, Carla Marie, today, what do we got?
Seattle Seahawks draft party recap. So excited. Babies first. We'll get into that. Dress for the occasion and concert etiquette.
I think those are all your things.
They are.
Okay.
It's all right.
Let's see how we... no, I'm not saying that as a bad way. DJ Thin... I don't know how I said it. DJ Synth subscribed for with Prime. Thank you very much. Unicorn Cindy with 1,000 bits.
Thank you.
Look at that. I feel like I need to create something where more things happen on the screen every
All right,
time
well,
we go through a
listen,
level.
there's a lot going on already.
Well, there's a lot on our screen at the moment. But we are in level 4. Once we get through level 5, we will start drinking. But let's go with the first thing on the list, Carla Marie, the 2023 Seattle Draft Party recap.
So, this was my first draft party, as we'll get into. But Thursday night, we went to the top of the Space Needle for the Seahawks draft party, which was mainly, I guess it was like clients, players, current players, and
some former players.
some former players, and like I guess influencers would be the way to describe,
And season ticket holders.
and season ticket holders.
Yeah. But I think only they invited 200 season ticket holders, so maybe like the
They
longest.
had to like win their way in. I believe.
Okay.
It was an exclusive party, if you will, and it was so sunny. And I say that because we're coming out of like a Seattle winter where it's cloudy.
Yeah.
And it was like we all could have flew off the Space Needle. Like that's how excited everyone was.
Yeah.
Like we're draft party. Everyone's so hopeful. The sun is out. You can see the mountain. You're at the top of the Space Needle. Like everything was perfect.
As much as everyone there loved whatever the Seahawks, I think more people were excited just because it was the first real beautiful day we had in Seattle since last year.
It was just so awesome.
Mhm.
Like the most fun. And I got to host the Instagram account for the Seahawks. So I was on the 12s account with Nicole, who I co-host Game Day with, and a lot of that content was on at Seahawks if you were seeing it. But it was like we got to let in the season ticket holders, so we got to like announce like the doors to the Space Needle were open, and it was just so freaking cool.
Mhm.
And Anthony got to meet a lot of my coworkers, which was fun.
Yeah, they're really nice.
And a lot of the Love Is Blind cast was there. We spent so much time talking to Kwame.
Yes.
Such a cool dude. Officially loves Seattle now. If you know, he made a comment about Seattle.
But now he lives here, right?
Yeah, he lives here, loves Seattle, plays soccer here. Got to meet Brett and Tiffany, which was really cool. She's an absolute sweetheart. Who else did we meet from the show? Amber.
I think the only person I
Jimmy,
talked to was Kwame, right?
Jimmy didn't make it out of the pods.
Who's Jimmy?
I met him very briefly.
Oh, he was there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But
My apologies, Jimmy. I don't know. When we were talking briefly to Kwame, I mentioned that because you guys were talking about things that happened on the show, and I was just kind of standing there. I was like, listen, like I know you're from the show, and I watched basically an episode and a half, but I don't know anything.
He kind of gave you like a quick rundown at one point, didn't he?
Yeah. Well, because he was saying, he said there was something he did and that he got a bunch of crap for online when the episode aired. And you guys both kind of like went right by it and like laughed and moved on. I was like, I have no idea what you're talking about. And he explained it to me. And then he explained the Seattle comment as well. Because he said, what was Seattle?
He said that Seattle thinks you're Michael Jordan with Lamar. You think you're Michael Jordan with Lamar Odom prices?
Yeah.
No, sorry. You think you're Lamar Odom with Michael Jordan prices.
Yes, that's what it is.
Backwards.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, I take it back now, though. He's like, it actually really is such a cool city.
It is. Well, I think they're still asking Michael Jordan prices for not a Michael Jordan city. It's a great city.
It's fair.
It's not a Michael Jordan city. It's a Hall of Fame city. But there's a lot of guys in the Hall of Fame. There's guys who've never even played basketball in the Hall of Fame.
Then what is San Francisco? Because Seattle's a cooler city than San Francisco.
I don't know about that.
I think so.
How long have you actually been in San Francisco?
A few times.
For like 12 hours.
No, I went with my parents.
You went to Napa.
No, and San Francisco.
How long did you spend in San Francisco with your parents?
We crossed over the bridge.
Exactly.
No, we walked around all day. We saw the seals. We did the pier.
Shout out to Heather on Long Island who resubbed with Prime. Appreciate that. And I do see a hydrate reminder from Potato Master. Do you not have water? You want some sink water?
Nope.
Oh.
I'll just have to go thirsty today.
I guess so. Because it doesn't look like we're going to hit the hype train, which is okay.
That's all right.
It is all right.
I'll just eat the ice in the glass.
Oh, wait. Maybe we will. We're getting close now. Jersey Quinn gave out a community sub.
I did see a quick question on here from AMS06H. It's about the Morning Show podcast. And they said, did you stop doing area codes on the Morning Show podcast? No, we're actually in like a very long stretch, like 14 numbers,
Yeah.
if you will, where there's no area code designated. So
I don't
instead
think
of just harping on there being no area
Yeah.
code,
I think we will get back to area codes on episode 301,
I think 301.
which is next Thursday. I believe that's the next one we have on the list. So, but thank you for noticing. Means you listened to the whole podcast. Because we started doing that, and I don't think many people caught on that we were doing it until like they heard 4 or 5 of them. And then, a couple weeks later, people would say, I just, what?
Sunny Survivor
What happened?
gifted 5 tier 1 subs.
Oh, nice. Thank you very much. And then Heather on Long Island cheered with 500 bits. And what else happened? And we got to Hype Train level 5. So if we get through this level, in case you're new to the show, we will crack open a cocktail. We usually do shots, but since we are getting ready for the Ready to Drink Awards with our friends at Seattle Cocktail Club, we're doing a Ready to Drink cocktail.
Mhm.
But normally we just we rip a shit, if you will.
Joe Quill said, do you have new episodes popping up all the time? Yes, by all the time, Monday through Friday.
Oh, that was in reference to the Morning Show podcast, right?
I'd assume so.
Why don't we just do a quick rundown of what the Morning Show podcast is for anyone who doesn't know?
Okay, so the short way to explain it is we took everything that the two of us learned from morning radio and put it in 25 minutes or less. Barely any commercials, like you'll get a 30-second commercial here and there. And it's everything you need to know about what's going on in the world, plus some other fun stuff along the way that's educational, stuff that you can be like, hey, did you hear this? To your coworkers and sound super smart.
Yeah.
You can do a better job.
All the news and entertainment and fun you need in under 25 minutes.
Yeah.
Available anywhere you listen to podcasts. So just search for The Morning Show Podcast. You need those 4 words, and it should pop up. Jess from Minnesota is the one that pushed us over the edge, Carla Marie.
Thanks, girl.
We are now in Hype Train level 6, meaning we got through 5, meaning we can have this drink. Let's do it. Oh, I forgot we have the choo-choo emote, too. Thanks, Claire. And Martha. And Rebecca. Whoa, I was not expecting blue. I was not expecting blue. Because this is a margarita, right? Oh, margarita azul.
I missed
forgot
the azul.
the second part.
Well, that was a fun little surprise for everybody.
Although, I'll be honest with you, I'm so dumb that I would have read azul and not thought blue until I saw it. And thank you very much to Sarah from Michigan for resubbing with Prime. 19 months Sarah has subscribed. What you reading?
I want to see we're made of blue.
Smurfs. Cheers to you, Carla Marie. Cheers to everyone who supported the stream, and cheers to our friends
Cheers to
at
surprises
Seattle Cocktail Club.
this
and
week.
Cheers to, what's the name of the company?
Bowls.
Bowls.
The blue's throwing me off.
It's good, though.
Because I'm, like, expecting it.
Normally, I'd want way more ice with my drink. Who
Yeah.
puts 2 cubes of ice?
I was rushing.
2 cubes! And they melted by the time we started drinking. Thankfully, this is still kind of cold.
I mean, it satisfies my margarita need.
That is good. I really like it. Okay. The question came through the chat. Who was it? Martha said, did you do blue lights on purpose? We had no idea. I didn't even realize the lights were
You
blue.
had the blue lights on the TV, so I changed those to match and made them blue.
Okay.
That's fine.
Well, I did not realize. So, no, we did not do it on purpose.
What a fun surprise to start the week with.
All right, moving on, though. The Seattle Draft Party recap. What else was there?
At the draft party? Blitz was there.
I will say it was interesting being at a draft party because being a football fan for so long, I've almost always watched the first round of the draft. I don't really watch the other televised rounds because then you start getting to people I just have never heard of. It was cool being in the room with so many people, or being, I guess, on the deck of the Space Needles. I wouldn't really call that a room, but being up there on the Space Needle with so many people, like really passionate fans, because you were either tied to the team as an employee or you were a season ticket holder, basically.
I was standing next to Kenneth Walker as they're
playing,
about to call the first pick, and I literally looked at him and I go, isn't it weird about to find out who your new teammate is with everyone else? And he's like, Yeah,
Yeah.
it is kind of weird.
And seeing the reactions, because Seattle picked a guy who I don't think too many people were familiar with at that point in the draft, because there were a bunch of larger names
Yeah.
on the draft board. And seeing it wasn't a disappointed
It was like,
reaction. It was like
oh.
wasn't expecting that. And then seeing the reaction with their second pick in the first round, which was someone I guess people had been speculating we'd get at that point in the draft.
It was funny.
And seeing the big reaction that the wide receiver got, it was really cool to be a part of that at least once.
Yeah.
Because I remember growing up watching the draft at Radio City. Was it Radio City Music Hall? Right? That's where the draft was? It was because for the longest time, it was in New York.
Yes, I do remember that.
Was it Radio City?
Because I remember at one point, there was like all this stuff going around, like all these events surrounding it in New York.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, so it was in Radio City originally before I don't know. I think they've done.
Says that came out in 2014.
I want to say the last like 5 years it hasn't been there, but it was cool being part of that.
Yeah.
And hearing cheers and seeing like the excitement in fans' faces.
It was cool.
And then I got to watch because they had the draft on like every TV up there and on a big screen. And I'm a Raiders fan, so I was watching the Raiders part of the draft basically by myself.
Yeah, you were. That's facts.
It was cool though.
It was a good time.
Is that your last point about the draft?
Yeah.
It was a good time.
I feel like we don't really have events like that in Seattle
Yeah, it's true.
that often anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And I was telling this to someone actually that night, where like in New York, you could go to 2 of those
Mm-hmm.
a night. Oh, that's what it was, because San Juan Seltzer also invited us to their launch party for some new drink, new flavor, whatever it was, and it was the same night.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, why do we have to have the two cool things at the same time?
Which normally does not happen here.
Right. And it was just fun to get to be at something like that in this city at such a cool landmark.
But I feel like that attitude is, you can really only get away with that if you're from New York or LA, where those things are really happening every night of the week. Like expecting multiple events on a daily or weekly basis.
Yeah, that's New York and LA. But like I'm saying, we don't ever get them here, and then we get 2 in one night, and we couldn't do them.
Oh, the Met Gala is tonight?
I can't wait.
What a dumb event.
So stupid. So stupid.
I mean, people sometimes look cool.
I just love, like, I love it, but not in the way that like, oh, I can't wait to see what everyone wears so I can laugh at it.
Mm-hmm.
I remember what's the theme this year.
Listen, if I was a celebrity though, I'd want to be invited at least once. I think I would go if I was I don't know, some B-level celebrity that got to go, because I don't think C-level celebrities get to go to this.
I'm sure someone buys their way in.
Maybe. But if
Because
I
you're
was
invited and then you have to pay, I believe, because it's a fundraiser.
Well, you have to buy your table or your seat at your table, or someone who has a table has to then invite you. I don't know what the theme is for this year. Carla Marie, I think, is looking that up right now. But
that's
what?
It's the Met Gala theme for this year. For 2023, the Met Gala has centered its theme on Karl Lagerfeld, and it celebrates the opening of the Karl Lagerfeld A Line of Beauty exhibit. So he is like the theme. I did see someone say like, "Who's gonna go as this cat?"
I don't know anything about Karl Lagerfeld.
Like,
he's a designer.
Not gonna make sense. It's gonna be like, "Oh, I wore blue because one time he made a blue dress."
So he's a designer, right?
Yes.
Okay. So this designer is gonna have his own theme and his own exhibit, I guess.
I'd go as a tampon one year just to set everybody off.
Well, how would you make that fit?
I'd wear a white dress and the theme.
Yeah, this isn't a costume party. I mean, it is a costume party, but it's a themed costume party.
I don't know. I wouldn't have to be. I'd have to be.
I also don't think you'd upset anyone at that party if you dressed as a tampon.
No.
I think you would just look ridiculous, like everyone else does. So it makes sense.
Someone should go as him.
So he's a Chanel designer who passed away, according to Kelsey Gramp.
Yep, 2019.
All right. Rest in peace, Carl.
What if he doesn't want to be his stupid theme?
I am sure he is wherever he's watching from, Middle Earth. I don't know where he lives now, but wherever he's watching from, I'm sure he's thrilled.
Fred the Mailman said, Met Gala was cool before it was cool. Yeah, that's how most things. I feel like social media ruined it.
Was it ever cool?
Because I remember talking about it on Elvis's show before, like, I fully, like, he would mention it, Danielle would mention it, and that was before, like...
Social media?
Yeah. before everyone really knew about it. Maybe it was posted on like a Facebook group or something.
Oh, Karl Lagerfeld apparently said you lose. Lagerfeld hated sweatpants. This is according to Jess from Minnesota. And where is it? There we go. Said you lost control of your life if you wear sweats.
Facts.
He's not
That's why
wrong.
we all lived in sweatpants the last few years.
He's not wrong.
Well, then I would wear a full sweatsuit to the Met Gala this year in honor of him and his comment.
So to disrespect his comment.
In honor of his comment. No, well, what if I lost control of my life?
I guess you could lose control of your life if you're at the Met Gala still. You're rich at least, though.
Most people don't have control of their lives.
You could be like a crazy drug addict and still go.
Yeah.
But you're rich. And maybe you're just in control
just
of
because
your
you're
drug.
rich doesn't mean you have control of your life.
No, but it means you have control of more things than a non-rich person would.
Yeah, like paying bills.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Which
But
is a
their
pretty big deal.
Their emotions could be out of control. Their love life could be out of control.
I disagree. And everyone says like, oh, money doesn't make you happy. No.
No, it does solve a lot of problems, though.
But I think like when you look at people, who do you think has their emotions more in check? Someone who has a very nice, comfortable home or a homeless person?
It depends.
No, it doesn't depend. If you are homeless, your emotions, because you're...
Okay, for example, let's look at Mel Gibson when he flipped out on his daughter 10 years ago. That man didn't have shit in check.
He's just a bad person, though. And I bring it up not to make fun of homeless people. I bring it up to say your lack of security and your lack of resources makes you less emotionally stable because you have so many things to worry about.
Yeah, but there's also so many people that are like, I'm cool, dude. I'm just going to live out here in the streets.
Maybe. I don't know if that's like the overarching opinion of everyone on the streets. I'm just like, hey man, I'm cool.
No,
I'm chilling
not.
here.
I am not generalizing everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying.
All right. Let's see. Lenny from Queen said, I work in the finance sector. I know some out of control rich people. Absolutely. It's a different out of control, though. It's like a cooler out of control. It's like buying a lion out of control. You know?
Shanna, yeah, it was Alec Baldwin. No, the other Baldwin who yelled at his daughter. Mel Gibson screamed at somebody else. Like, there's the voicemail of Mel Gibson, too.
I feel like Mel Gibson screamed at a lot of people in his life. He doesn't strike me as a particularly kind person. And then didn't he produce the Passion of the Christ movie as well?
Oh, Mel Gibson tapes on Rant released the complete transcript.
Who's he yelling at?
Oh, maybe someone just recorded it. But was it Alec Baldwin? Maybe it was. I thought it was
Vicky said it was Stephen Baldwin.
Stephen.
I didn't even know there was a Stephen
There's
Baldwin.
3. Alec, Billy, and Stephen.
Which is the one that was in The Purge?
Uh,
The made-for-TV Purge.
Not Alec, right?
No, not Alec. He's really the only one that I could recognize. I think I would see the other 2 Baldwins on the street and not
Yes, you would.
know it was them. Which one's Haley's dad?
Stephen or Billy. Okay, so moving on.
Moving on to Babies First. I don't know what this is about.
Yes, you do. It actually connects to the draft party.
Oh, okay. Okay, go for it.
So Thursday's draft party was my first draft party, Anthony's first draft party. When I posted about it on Instagram, I wrote baby's first draft party. And then it was like, I had so much fun celebrating, blah, blah, blah. This happened. And like, I broke it down for every photo. Then Anthony and I got to do this and we got to do that and see this, blah, 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 all the things. I wake up Friday morning to a ton of comments. Some that aren't even there anymore. Ton. Are you pregnant? Oh my God, I didn't know you were pregnant. And then people responding, wait, she is? Yes, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, what? So now I'm like, what is going on? Is everyone And I was like, is everyone pranking me? And then I realized like it wasn't names that I knew. It wasn't like it was a bunch of people from this chat got together and like, let's just mess with Carla Marie today. Because that's what I thought was happening. And right before that thought, I commented back to the first person I saw and I was like, are we still doing this? Are we still asking women if they're pregnant? And then I go through the photos and I'm zooming in on my stomach and I'm like, guess I looked like I was pregnant last night. Like, this is insane. And then that's when I started seeing all of them and I was like, what the hell? And then I saw someone respond to someone else say, Yeah, she wrote baby's first draft party.
So that is your fault. Like you can't pop off on people like, oh, are we still doing this?
No.
When you wrote baby's
Okay.
first.
So then I went back and I deleted my response
Okay.
and I was like, okay. But again. So now I'm like, all right, I guess it is so I screenshot.
It was a little bit, it was at least partially your fault.
But I was like, I say this all at least in my group of friends here in New York, it's baby's first, whatever.
Yeah.
We say that about everything that we do. Baby's first pair of skinny jeans. Like, you do it all the time.
Yes, but I think saying it out loud is different. When
But
you
I
write
wasn't,
it,
and the best part is, and then so
was it the first? What was the first thing in your
me
post?
not holding my stomach.
No, not the pictures. What word wise?
Baby's first.
Okay, come on.
Well, I didn't put a baby. I put a football.
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
They could have been like, oh, you got a little football ready to punt
I
out
see
of there.
it a little bit, but commenting it opposed to just going back and looking at all my previous posts of me just being wasted taking shots 3 days prior.
Yeah, but now you're asking people to do work on your Instagram.
No, I didn't ask them to do that. I'm just saying.
What you're saying is people should have read that comment. Babies first, ... whatever.
Yeah.
Babies first. You're saying they should have read that, and then they should have, in their own time, gone
'cause
back
that's
into
what I
your
do.
Instagram.
Anyone will tell
That's
you.
a ridiculous ask.
But that I'm not asking them to do that. That's what I
That's
would
not
have done.
I don't think that's what most people do. Most people see something on social media, and regardless of what it is, whether it's someone saying babies first or an actual news story or anything, they comment on that one thing that they see, and they'll rarely even go into the following.
I'm not
comments.
blaming those people or mad at those people, but my reaction is to never just say, "Oh my God, are you pregnant?" to someone on social media.
Of course.
Unless they are literally like, "I am pregnant. Here is an ultrasound photo." So I then post the screenshot of that. Of my
what?
caption,
Oh,
which
okay.
I then changed because I was like, I'm not spending all weekend dealing with this.
Good move.
And I wrote, I was like, so by the way, in case anyone's confused, I did not mean I was pregnant. I was the baby. I am the baby. Also, I guess you can't use that when everyone just expects you to be pregnant because you're 35 years
Yeah.
old. And the amount of responses I got from women that were A, oh my God, I did not think that. And B, yeah, I made the same mistake. I had a friend, Kate, who said she did it last summer. And she said that people were calling her mom, congratulating her mom on Kate saying it was like baby's first whatever pool party that she went to. Something, I don't know. And she's like, it was insane.
But I think, and obviously if it's happening to you, you could see it as people like trying to pressure you or whatever emotions were going through your head. But you also have to remember that at your age right now, a lot of the people that you know are making those announcements. And it's
They've
easy.
been making them since I was
you know,
22.
and they have been, right? But I think that's part of the problem.
Yeah.
Is you're in a part of your life where everyone around you is doing that thing, so it's easy to assume that you are also part of that. You know?
I just realized that I didn't change the Facebook caption, so I'm sure
Facebook's got to be way
people
worse.
are popping off over there. I don't even want to go look.
Yeah.
But the number one response I got back to after I posted the caption on my Instagram story being like, this is not what I meant.
Yeah.
The number one response I got was, I thought you were referring to Anthony.
Well, it was also my first
But I
draft
was
party.
like, the first photo was me.
Yeah. Which I don't know, maybe that's why people thought so. Cuz
And I was like, I was drinking in the photos and I realized the cups were clear and the liquid was clear.
Where you have the seltzer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The seltzer or cut water, so like if you saw me with the cup, it just looked like water probably.
And I think Camille brought up a great point. You can never really expect people. I had it on the screen a second ago. She said, sometimes we give people way too much credit for thinking they're going to connect the dots. We're not in a dot connecting phase of society anymore.
There are a lot of us that do connect the dots and will dive deep and read comments and captions for days until we can figure things out.
Yeah. Usually people who connect dots have more time on their hands than people who don't connect dots, I think. And I'm one of those people who has time on my hands, right? I don't have a family. I don't even have to go walk a dog. Like I don't have a real job. So I have a lot of time on my hands. But I think when you look at the general population, people are chasing their kids around. They're picking up their dog's poop. They're commuting to work. They got bosses calling them and emailing them. Most people don't have time to connect the dots.
I'm willing to say that not most people. I'm willing to say that there are a lot of people that go down the rabbit hole, like Lisa said, and boom, boom, boom. Stalk a little bit.
Stalk a little bit?
Stalk.
Oh, stalk a little bit. Maybe. And you also have to assume they care that much to do that.
Like, there's someone that I know. I don't want to put people on blast. And I was like, they haven't posted about their wife lately. And I went back a year and a half and I'm like, well, I guess they got divorced a while ago.
And you know why?
Why?
You got some time on your hands. If it was baby's first draft party, in real life, you wouldn't have that kind of time on your hands.
No, I would, because I'd be pregnant.
Maybe. Oh, man. Moving on, though, from baby's first mishap, I guess, to dress for the occasion. This still about the draft party?
No, you're going to hate this, but I will say I'm here for it.
Okay, go for it.
I went to the Shania Twain concert on Saturday night with my friends Lindsay and Hannah.
Yeah.
And I said to them, I was like, I'll be honest, I'm actually kind of glad that we get to live in a world where we get excited and we get dressed for the concerts. Instagram, social media definitely made it happen. But like back in the day, if I went to a Fall Out Boy concert in college, I was wearing a black t-shirt and jeans.
Yeah.
Where like now we think I gotta dress as if I'm in a Shania Twain music video. And it's so much fun. Like, yeah, the concert's gonna be just as good, but like, oh my God, what are you wearing? And then like Hannah showing up in like literally right out of a Shania Twain music video, and Lindsay wearing like an all denim jumpsuit. Like, when are we gonna do that? Not normally. And it was just yes, it can be stressful. Like last year at Stagecoach was.
Why was Stagecoach stressful?
Because not only did I was trying to figure out how to look cool, but not freeze and not sweat.
Yeah, I guess it's an all-day event, and it does get cold out there, so I get that.
But like Tacoma Swifty's saying right now, she's trying to figure out her Taylor Swift Eras Tour outfit. Like, I am living for all of my Eras Tour outfit posts, and how like women are going in like tube tops that are just all feathers, and I'm like, when else are we gonna wear that other than to a Taylor Swift concert?
I agree, and I don't hate the idea of dressing up for an event or whatever. My problem is always I'm not going to buy more things for this. Like you, I'm sure had enough. You didn't have to buy anything, right? Exactly. And women are going to have more things, more accessories, more articles of clothing, generally speaking, than their male counterparts going to the same type of event.
Well, I'll definitely be buying an outfit for Taylor Swift or renting something.
You don't even have tickets.
Yeah, I'm buying Lindsay's.
Oh, okay. Who are you going with?
Madison and Megan.
Oh, nice. That's awesome. So I'm not against dressing up for the event. I'm glad you and your friends did that for Shania Twain. Now, had you asked me to, if I was going to Shania Twain.
Well, what would you could have wore your, like, the Roosevelt's one.
I would have worn, a Roosevelt's type shirt. Maybe the Woody Toy Story shirt that's kind of like cowboy inspired.
That's what the bartender was wearing before the.
No, he was wearing one of their Southwest prints.
I was to the bartender. I was at Buckley's in Queen Anne here in Seattle, right near the arena, and I was like, "Is that a Roosevelt shirt?" And he was like, "It sure is." I didn't want to say my friends own that because I feel like no one believes me.
No, I said that. Where was I? Maybe
at
the Mariners game recently. There was a guy walking by me, and I said, "Hey, is that a Roosevelt shirt?" And he's like, "Yep." And that was it. So yeah, again, I'm not against dressing up for events. I personally,
your hands are crossed as if you are an old man who's mad about it.
No, I'm just chilling. I'm trying to lean back.
That means you're closed off.
I don't have armrests, and I don't want to be like this the whole time. This makes it feel like I'm like a royal.
Put your hands down.
And I don't like that either. That's weird. Ugh. Just hands in my lap, sitting
Oh,
here like a dweeb.
I love it.
I feel like this is how you twiddle your thumbs.
It is. That's what I do the whole time.
So I'm just not going to buy new things
that's fine.
Specifically for like one night.
But you were gonna remember last year's Stagecoach, weren't you on the hunt for like overalls?
And that's why I didn't buy them. I was gonna buy short overalls, overall shorts. And I looked into it, found some online, then I was like, all right, maybe I'll go thrifting. And I thought to myself, I'm never gonna wear these again. And then it's gonna bother me that they're in the house. Because like this is where I keep all my stuff, in this room. And there's not a lot of room in this room because I've got things tucked away like equipment, and there's just not a lot of space here. And hypothetically, if all the equipment was cleared out, if this was a regular room, I still wouldn't want a lot of things in here.
Okay.
Because I just want space. That's it.
What are you going to wear to Fall Out Boy?
Nothing special. T-shirt.
No. You should dress like them in a music video.
No, I'm not doing that.
You should.
They don't even dress
You
like
gotta
them in a music video anymore.
Can you put your hair down?
I probably could.
Do some emo that way.
I probably could. But my hair is at a length where it wouldn't look emo. It would look more Hitler
That's true.
haircut, and I don't.
True.
That's not a
Fair.
style that I'm looking forward to. So
I realized that I should have like gone around and been like, "Can I take your photo of all like the women at the concert and like put together like a montage of all the
That's-
cool outfits?" Because so many people were wearing full cheetah print,
Mhm.
which is not the norm anymore.
That's what our friend Menace does when he goes to Coachella or any festival. He'll just start asking people for pictures of their cool outfits.
It was a good time. It was so much fun. Like the show was so good. She's getting like a lot of hate on social media, but I
Who,
think
Shania?
I think a lot of it is from before she officially started the tour. So we were the second stop, which I didn't
Where was
realize
the first of it? Vancouver?
Spokane until we were there because I had looked up the whole set list, but I guess it was from like she was doing smaller shows before the tour actually kicked off. And
Like Spokane.
no, that was the first night of this tour.
It's a small show though.
I mean, I saw videos of the arena. It looks pretty big.
Really?
Yeah.
I just can't. Was it where the Bulldogs play? Where Gonzaga plays?
I'm unaware.
Because I can't imagine. Like, I don't think there are many tours that start in
Well,
Spokane.
because people were posting videos, and I thought it was Climate Pledge, and it was at the Climate Pledge one. People were like, "Oh my God, look! Everyone's leaving on the fourth Shania song because people hate this concert." And I was like, first of all, I didn't know the fourth song, and that's when I went to go pee.
Yeah.
And we were like, "That's a pee song. Like, what are you mad about, bro?" Like, people are so weird. My
Yeah.
friends and I were like, people just love to complain about things. Someone's like, "I don't know, she looked weird." I'm like, she looked weird because she lost a crap ton of weight. Her abs are out. She looks like it's 1995 all over again, and that's not what you expected.
Yeah.
And then some people are like, "Well, she played a lot of new music." And it's like, you're at the Queen of Me tour, which is the name of her new album.
Mhm.
It's not the Come On Over tour from
Yeah.
1997. Like, if you wanted that, you should have seen her in
Listen,
1999.
Everyone is trying, especially on social media, especially with a bunch of people on TikTok trying to like create a name for themselves. Everyone's trying to create a narrative that makes their TikTok video blow up.
Yes.
And it's usually negative because that's what the algorithm pushes because that's what gets the most reactions. It's not that the algorithm is specifically set up to push negative reactions. It's simply that things that get negative reactions get more of them
Yeah.
than things that get positive reactions. And that's the crappy part.
Danny-
It looks like the Spokane Arena is where she performed. Shine Down is going to be there this Saturday
Oh.
with 3 Days Grace. Actually, our friend Kira was at a Shine Down concert recently. It was probably the same tour. Kane Brown's going to be there. And it does say that's where the Gonzaga University commencement ceremony is. So
Gonzaga.
Gonzaga? I thought it was Gonzaga. I always switch it up or
No,
mess
now
it
you're
up.
making me get confused. But so it seems like she's switching up her costumes. Well, at least it went Spokane, Seattle, so there were two different outfits. So I don't know what the third one should probably go back and forth, and even the set list, which also could be partially because she's changing things as she goes. But our night, she changed into the Man, I Feel Like a Woman outfit, the official one from the music video
That's
in the
pretty cool.
90s, which they had to take out of a museum, she said. And I'm like, bitch, you still fitting in this outfit from the 90s. What?
I'm sure she did some work to get into.
Yeah.
Not like
So she's been
cut and
interviewed.
sew work. I'm
No.
I'm talking like diet and workout work.
She's been interviewed. She eats one meal a day, and the rest is a liquid diet. So, but
Jeez.
like a lot of shakes. And I'm like, are you happy though? Because I don't know that I'd be happy if I was starving.
Maybe she's not starving though. Maybe those shakes are packed with enough nutrients
They
and
are.
protein.
Like, she was talking about everything that was in there: protein, veggies.
and I feel like she's doing it probably with a professional
Yeah.
of some sort.
yeah.
Maybe tossed in some Ozempic in there as well.
No, not Shania.
I think most celebrities are.
Well,
That's why there's a shortage of it.
I think I might do the same diet.
Do one meal a day?
I don't know. I keep seeing posts like you're supposed to eat like a crap ton of calories a day.
Well, it depends on what you're doing. I mean, part of it is I know it's not. It's the base thing to think about is calories in, calories out. And then once you get to that point, then you can start adjusting. Okay, well, what types of calories am I taking in? Obviously, you don't want to take in all your calories from crap food. But it's figuring out how to manipulate those numbers to do what you need them to do, to fuel your body the way it
I
needs
need
to
to
be fueled.
look like Shania Twain did the other night.
Well, then follow her diet if that's what you care about.
Okay.
I would love to have a job or have enough money where I could pay someone to just create my meal plan for a month, even just 1 month.
Is your cousin a nutritionist?
He is, but I can't. I need someone to like make it too. I don't want someone to just tell me, oh, these are all the things you have to make, because I'm not going to do it. But I want basically a nutritionist and a chef. I need to hire 2 people. And they can work in tandem, and I just go about my day, and then they hand me the food. And I say, okay, I eat this now, and they say yes, and that's it.
Fred the Mailman said, my gym owner does 1 meal a day. He's 48 and a beast. Can you get me his full weekly meals?
Well, we our friend Tim, who used to be the manager here at LA Fitness in Ballard, he basically fasts every day. He has 1 meal a day, or he has a 2-hour eating window a day. And then on the weekends, I think he extends it a little more. And that's it.
All right. Your brother, I've been thinking about it. You're talking to your cousin for me.
What?
I got a whole list of things I can't eat, things I'm supposed to eat, and it's very confusing. So your cousin who's a nutritionist, I need to have a call.
You gonna pay him?
Sure.
Okay. Because that's his real work.
I know.
I don't take that for free. Vicky said anything to get that model life going so you can have a personal chef. I don't think models that look like me make enough money to get a personal chef.
But eventually, if you get the personal chef, then you'll be able to, be like.
Well, I forgot who I was having this conversation with kind of recently. They were talking about how there was an article about how people like Tom Brady, people like LeBron James, they spend almost $1 million a year working with doctors, professionals, nutritionists, people in the health space.
Like not even on food.
No, on everything, on sleep, on making sure their sleep is perfect, on making sure, like LeBron has those, what are those leg sleeves that inflate?
Ooh, I want those.
What are those things called?
It's
like hyperbaric something.
Yeah, hyperbolic.
I don't know, whatever it is.
Hyperbolic is not, that's a word.
But and people were making fun of that for a little bit, like, oh, can you believe this is they're so rich they can do this?
Yes.
And I saw it, but I saw it from the other perspective of they are so rich because they do this. Like Tom Brady would not have played 20 years in the NFL or however long he ended up playing if he didn't do that. Right? LeBron James would not be dunking in his 20th year at 38 years old if he wasn't
absolutely not
paying very close attention. Now, did he do that when he was 18? Probably not, because when you're 18,
you don't need to.
You can eat McDonald's and go dunk all over people for an entire game of basketball. But as he started getting older, he realized if I want to continue doing this and be the best, everything else has to work.
Okay, so they're from Hyper Ice.
Hyper Ice?
Yeah.
What's it called?
The brand Norma Tech.
Yeah, but there's got to be some sort of like generic name for that. Did anyone say it in the chat? I don't think I saw that.
They're $800.
I mean, here's the thing. That sounds like a lot of money for you and I, or anyone who's not relying on their physical ability to make money. But if you're an NBA player, you've probably got one in all of your homes. You've probably got one for the road.
Ooh, there's a $400 one.
Because why not? If it helps you perform better, which then makes you get paid more. Let's see. And then 83 Marie Smith said, but what works best for someone doesn't work for someone else. Absolutely, which is why these guys have found people that cater plans to them.
Yeah.
And just like if you're on your own fitness or health or weight loss journey, you've got to find things that work for you. Can you move your leg, please?
Speaking of, I need this for my legs. It increases circulation, flexibility, and range of motion.
Okay.
Relieves muscle aches and or pain. You have that leg problem?
I have a sore leg, yes.
Accelerates your warm-up and recovery time.
Sounds good to me. I do like the accelerating your recovery time. And let's see. Jolly Russian Buddhist, who is my brother Justin, said, where was it here in the chat? $800 for a narrow margin of advantage over your opponent. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because that narrow margin is what that's represented in millions of dollars per contract. How is this different from compression stuff?
I think that's what it is.
I'm not even going to begin.
I think the suntan, the tanning place here, I feel like I did this there, but I think maybe it was a weight loss one. When we were on the radio, I like got to go test out some new thing they had.
I have no
And I don't
idea.
know if it was that or like a sweat machine thing. I don't remember, but I think they have them there because I feel like I've seen Molly do it.
Let's see. Nick NYC said, I know. Let me put this on the screen. I know of a few professional exotic dancers who spend tons of money on gym coaches, healthy diet, and regular massages because it's all connected to their income. Absolutely.
That's a write-off, baby.
Yeah. And that is, if you can prove, I guess, that it's for your business. I don't know where the lines are drawn, but you're just like any business, you have to invest in the thing that is making your money and the thing that is the main revenue generator. And if that's your booty shaking on a pole, invest in that booty. Invest in your time on that pole. Figure it out.
Your brother said Trump's haircuts were tax deducted. My hair is a write-off. Yours is?
No, I feel like when we were talking to our accountant, our tax guy
that
years
was
ago.
after Trump changed the tax write-offs.
Oh.
So we're on the radio. But
so
now
his hair counts and mine doesn't?
But now as a
Messed up.
1099, not for this business. Well, I guess actually not for this, but through doing like freelance work and influence work, like my nail polish, especially because like getting my nails done for game day and stuff, things like that, because I'm on camera, it's clothing, all of it is a write-off. I wish I took more advantage of it, but I do not.
Let's see. Camille said, here we go. I've used the Normantic. That's the one you were looking up? Normantic pen? Normatec?
Normatec.
Normatec. I don't know. I said Normantic.
Normantic.
Pants before when I was training as a competitive figure skater, and I think they did help me with injury recovery. Did you even see what they were supposed to do?
I told you.
No, but like, how does it do all those things?
Oh.
Is it a blood flow thing? Is it pressure?
They're kind of gatekeeping that information. Camille, you're a professional figure skater?
That's pretty cool.
A competitive figure skater?
Neither of us can read today, and that's okay.
Using dynamic air compression to advance your wellness.
So the super compression pants. Okay, next on the list, concert etiquette. What do we got?
People.
I feel like this has to do with the Shania Twain concert.
Sure does.
Okay.
But it's overall rules for concerts.
Okay.
Really just one.
Which is what?
If you go to a concert, there's two. If you go to a concert, you either have to stand or not be mad that people are standing.
Yeah.
Okay?
As long as you can stand.
Right. Most likely
Like-
those people who can't stand are in certain sections.
Exactly, yeah.
Or in... I'm talking about people that are able to stand.
Yes.
Because they were. So she's about to come out, like, lights go low, blah, blah, blah. And we're like, no one's standing. So we felt weird in that moment standing because the people behind us are still sitting. But I was like, I am not sitting as Queen Shania Twain enters the stage. So we stand up, and then the whole place eventually like starts to stand up.
Yeah.
Not because we did, but just they did.
You started the standing ovation?
Yes. And the people behind us were like still, I could see them like still sitting. I'm like, you can't see anything.
That's them problem.
Okay. Then, and I had one time at a Fall Out Boy concert that was standing room only at SPAC, Saratoga Performing Arts Center in
SPAC?
It's like PNC, but in New York, Saratoga Performing Arts Center. In Saratoga, New York. This mom was like, "Can you guys sit?" Because it was the lawn, and we were just leaning on the fence. We were like the front part of the lawn, and we were like, "No." And then I heard her talking to another mom. She's like, "These giraffes in front of us won't sit." I'm like, "Ma'am, I'm 5 feet tall."
These 5 foot tall giraffes.
I'm like, "You are at a concert."
Although it was your friend Alex there?
Yeah.
She's taller.
I know. So at Shania Twain, not only were people like sitting, and I get it, it's a slow song, sit down. That's fine. You can't be mad though that other people aren't sitting down. I had to go to the bathroom. We were in the middle, so I was like, I could go either way. But when we first came in to sit in our seats, we had to go by the people in our row, and we were like, excuse me, and they were all like annoyed, like no one like acknowledging that you're saying anything, and I was like, okay. So then I had to go to the bathroom, and I go. Not only were they like not even getting out of the way, but they were just like not responsive. So I came back came back in, whatever, same thing. It was just very awkward. Then we had to go to the bathroom and get a drink. We went the other way. So now I've only really bothered people once. But you're in the middle.
So twice.
I'm saying not the same group of people.
Okay.
Just to come back in.
Okay.
I go to leave out this row. Not only were people not like receptive to the fact that you're trying to get by, but they were not standing up.
Mm-hmm.
And those rows are thin. So I'm now climbing over old people, older. They weren't, I'll be honest, they weren't that old.
Yeah.
And their legs.
Like your age old.
Yeah. No, they were definitely older. And the guy in the end, we're like, excuse me, but he was like, nice. We come back in and he was getting ready to film something. And we get to our row and he's like, no, keep going. Keep going. And I'm like, he's like, no, keep going. And I'm like, you're row T. And he's like, and he was like mad that I was interrupting his video.
Okay. Couple things. Number one,
Dude.
no one is responsible for your social media videos. Like, that's on you. If someone's in your way, you got to deal with it. Like, your social media videos don't matter. And you could say, oh, well, my great grandmother loves Shania Twain and she couldn't be here. That's not my problem.
No.
Now, when it comes to standing, the only two, I think, if you're a responsible concert goer, you do look around, right? If there's a little kid behind you, because I saw, who was it in the chat? Erica P. said, was it Erica P? I just lost the chat. Oh, no, it was Danny B714. It's a long message.
She was at the show, too.
She was at the show in the nosebleed section. She says in the nosebleed section, and my 6-year-old granddaughter can't see even standing. That was her first concert, and her mom took her because she knew most of the songs.
That's awesome.
So we purposely had end seats, and she was standing in the stairway to dance and see, and security made her come back. Okay.
Yeah.
And I get security has to do their job, whatever. They need a section for people with small kids so they can purchase tickets. I think if you're a responsible concert goer and you realize there's a little kid behind you, every now and then you take a seat. I'm not saying you have to sit the whole time because there's a kid behind you.
I lucked out because there was a kid in front of me and I could see the stage.
That's great. But yeah, I think if there's, an incredibly old person, incredibly young person, someone who can't stand, that's when you take a look around and you say, okay, I'm going to be a little more conscious now.
Yeah.
Like when I was at the Raiders game recently.
But in that moment then, if I sit down so that person can see, they're not going to see because everyone then in front of me is standing.
Maybe. But I do remember at the Raiders game I went to with my brother in January, there was an older guy, World War II vet. I got to talk to him for a little bit. And the guy in front of him just would not sit the whole time. And he was considerably older. This guy was in his 90s.
But also football games, I love to sit.
And the problem, this is what everyone in the section had an issue with the old guy, is there were seats available near us. And I think the older guy just asked for the guy in front of him to move over 2 spots.
Oh, okay.
Because there were seats available. And he was like, no, these are my seats, man.
Yeah, everyone
could have been happy if you just moved over 2 seats.
And I think games and concerts are a little different too.
No, I think in games you have to be ready for people to stand up too because there's an excitement
but I'm
level.
saying like standing the whole time at a game.
No, very, very few people stand the whole time at a game.
But at a concert, yeah.
Yeah, I'll usually, there's always the songs you could either go to the bathroom during, to get a drink, take a seat for a little bit. At the end of the day, it's a huge crowd and you can't predict how everyone's going to act or expect everyone to act properly.
They were selling these Shania Twain like sequin cowboy hats that like lit up like neon, like flashed. And the little girl in front of me had one. Mm-hmm. And I think she may have been standing on the seat, whatever. Like the hat was very close to my face. So it's just right here. It's just flashing bright lights. And I was like, this thing's annoying to my friends. They're like, yeah, but I'm not going to be like, can you turn off your hat? And they eventually did, which was great. And you could see them all around the stadium. They were kind of obnoxious, but they were super cute and probably $85.
Joe Quill said, hockey has the best fan control. You're not getting in your seat until there's a stoppage.
Oh, yeah.
I think most
baseball
sports are like that now. I feel like it's happened in baseball. They'll make you wait until there's a stoppage. Football, I think it's supposed to be a common courtesy. Because I don't remember when I've been to the Raiders or Seahawks games this year, if they stopped me going to and from my seat. I don't believe they did.
They're not to that.
But it's also a courtesy if the play is in action or about to start. You don't get into your seat. You wait until after the play is over so that everyone sees it. Really, Joe said baseball is the worst. One of the reasons They gave up their partial season tickets a few years ago.
Well, I wonder if it's stadium by stadium because they literally will hold a stop sign at the front of the rows here. I think Yankee Stadium too.
Yankee Stadium, last time I was there, they were doing that as well. Yeah, there is a courtesy wait, or the courtesy is to wait, says Heather on Long Island. But as we all know, not everybody is courteous, which is annoying.
But yeah, man, that guy, we were like, dude, I will knock you down these steps.
You know, speaking of people not being courteous, while Carla Marie was at the Shania Twain concert, I was at LA Fitness in Ballard, and I waited till like the end of the day because the gym closes at 8 on the weekends, but it was so beautiful out Friday and Saturday that I wasn't going to spend my hours in the gym. So I went at the end of the day, and I was legitimately one of the last people there because it closes at 8. I left at like 7:59. And I looked around, and I guess I've always known that people are a-holes and don't put their weights away. But it's exaggerated so much more when you don't see humans standing there, when there's space. The amount of weights that are just thrown around the floor. There was someone had taken the 90-pound dumbbells and left them literally halfway across the gym. And the thing that got me so frustrated was not that they were out of place, but when I was leaving, the only two people there there was the girl who works the front desk, and she's like maybe 82 pounds.
And she's like 20.
And there was one cleaning woman, and she's, again, 5'1". So
they gotta roll them?
So I picked those up, and I took them back. I took back a pair of 90-pound weights, a pair of 65-pound weights, and a pair of 80-pound weights. All of those weighed more than those women. Like, those pairs of dumbbells weighed more than the women that would have had to put them away.
I hate people, man.
And when you see a gym at the end of the day, especially a big box gym like an LA Fitness.
It's like a playground.
I'm sure Planet Fitness is just as bad, if not worse.
It's a playroom. Like, if you let your kids play all day and then they don't clean up after themselves.
Unbelievable. And I don't know what's worse, people not putting their weights away or people putting dumbbells in places, like, because they're all labeled, right? It says 35 pounds, 25
I
pounds.
just put it back.
Or people putting them in the misproper or mislabeled place.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man.
When I go to get whatever dumbbells I need, and they're not there, but no one's using them, like, well, where are they?
Yeah.
In the bathroom?
It's like a scavenger hunt every time. That same day, actually, that I went on Saturday, there was a 100-pound barbell. That was no joke on the complete opposite side of where it's normally racked.
Somebody had to put it there.
So, and that's the thing. If you were strong enough or tough enough to take a 90-pound dumbbell or a 100-pound barbell and move it across the gym, you can be tough enough and strong enough to take it back.
Fred the Mailman, if I catch you not racking your weights, I'll scold you. Full on dad mode.
I don't think I've ever seen someone, like, caught someone in the act of deliberately, like, being an a-hole.
You know.
And I don't know what I would do.
And it's hard because I saw a woman before me used dumbbells. They were, like, in a weird spot at the gym, not, like, near the rack. And I had to use them, same ones, in the same area using a bench right after. And they were just still sitting there. And I used them, and then I put them back. I don't know if she put them there or if they were just there. Yeah. So I'm also not going to say, if I see a guy do it, I'll say something. I'm not going to say it to a girl because then she's going to fight me. If a guy, then they're going to fight you.
No, they're not.
Yeah, but I'll be there when you're there. If I see a guy do it, I'm going to be like, really, bro?
Yeah.
Just stay away from me.
There are times when I go work out in New Jersey because the weights are so mismanaged there. Like, I'm not exaggerating. I don't think there are more than 3 dumbbells in that entire gym, the LA Fitness on Route 17 in Paramus. I don't think there are more than 3 dumbbells in their right place at any given time of the day. So there are times where, like, everything's so out of place that I get to a point where I think, all right, I'm just going to put these in the closest spot because I'm not reorganizing this entire weight rack.
No.
Because it's going to take me an hour and a half to do that. But man, it is really frustrating. I have been, though, in New Jersey once. So sometimes during my rest times, especially if it's a longer rest period, like a minute and a half to 2 minutes, I'll organize my area. And I was doing that in New Jersey. I was just, like, moving things around that were directly in front of me. And an older guy came up to me and he gave me one of these. He said, "Hey, man, just want you to know I appreciate you doing that." And I looked and I said, "Thank you. Someone finally noticed."
I think gyms like LA Fitness should be like, if you are caught not putting your weights back, we'll charge $5 to your account.
I was thinking actually on Saturday when I was at the gym, I had this thought, and it's come to me a couple times, which is why I think it's a good one. We should have a gym shirt, maybe a tank, or you could get it in any style, and it just says, "Hey, you look great," and then right under it says, "Now put your weights away."
Put your weights back.
Put your weights back away. What do you guys think sounds better?
Well, away to me sounds like bring them somewhere else far away. Put your weights back where you found them.
That's too many words.
No, I'm just saying that's what back means.
Okay.
Put your weights away.
Because you could say re-rack your weights. I don't know if everyone's going to get that.
Re-rack. Rack your weights.
Yeah.
Not re-rack. Yeah.
Hey, you look great. Now rack your weight.
No, I didn't need hey.
You look great. Rack your weight. That is good. What?
I think put your shit back.
Yeah, we're not gonna have curses on our shirts. They say you look great, Carla Marie. It's not gonna say
great,
you look great, you asshole.
You look great, rack your weight.
All right, so do we make it?
Do people know what that means?
I think so. I think if you wear it at the gym, people will know.
Like be kind, rewind.
Yeah, exactly. What do you think?
I think so.
All right.
I think we're gonna live in a world where everything is gonna be digitized, and when you're gonna go to pick up a weight, you're gonna have to like scan it with like a wristband that you wear, and that's how you lock them out, and you have to lock them back in, and it's gonna know if you put yours back or not.
Maybe. I mean, it's not out of the question, I guess. I'd go to that gym. If I could go to a gym and they actually had like a staff that would scold people for not putting their stuff away.
But they're high school kids. They're not gonna scold people.
No, some of them will. They're not all high school
Now
kids.
that old man that's the trainer yelled at me. That man is my enemy.
He's actually the worst one. I know who you're talking about.
He is my enemy. I think he's Italian.
This is a little inside. I don't know what he is. He's definitely has a thick accent. I don't know what it is. But the reason I've never actually interacted with him, and this is my problem, and I hate to say it with a lot of the personal trainers at a lot of the gyms I've gone to, is they don't put their weights away.
Yeah, see, no.
And I get it that they have to fit their training in a certain amount of time to get the most amount of training sessions in that day, but that training should include putting your shit away.
Yeah, you know what? You learn that. It's personal trainer school 101. They must have forgot about their lessons.
Carla Marie takes half of a personal trainer's class, and now she's the authority.
There's a whole chapter about being professional.
Oh, this is great. Martha says, hand out red cards when you don't re-rack and have to sit out for a day. That is awesome.
We'd have to film it, though, and mic us up.
What?
Like
red
that.
cards?
I'm going to do
Here's
red
the thing,
cards every time.
I go there too often to be that guy.
I like when listen, I get it. You're lifting heavy, but there's just, it makes me laugh when I see people like, they're like, ugh. I get it. I'm lifting.
Yeah.
I get it. But when I just see guys and like slamming the weights down, I'm like, you're just so dramatic.
I think it's also
Because it's not like that kind of gym.
that's not true.
There's one of those things, one of those spots to do that.
Yeah, but if you're doing like clean and jerks or power cleans or something, that's how that exercise is supposed to go.
I know, but it's still always going to make me laugh.
Yeah, that's fine. And weights are always going to slam down in that section. It's gonna work.
Fred said, my gym owner will post pics of the weights and tag you on social media.
Honestly, that's the only way people will understand these days, is if they get shamed on social media. That's it. Yeah, public shame.
Oh, imagine we started a shame chant. We need like at least one. We can't be just the two of us. We need another gym friend to join in.
I think you need at least a dozen people to start that.
Do all of your gym friends put their weights back?
As far as I know.
You don't have this problem at Orange Theory. Everyone puts their weights back.
Yeah. I mean, that makes sense. There's less people and less weights. So
You have your station that you're supposed to take care of.
Exactly. And I mean, I'm sure it's a problem in every gym across the country. People there's
See, but like no joke, like this is gonna sound like I'm like being funny, but I'm scared that like I'm gonna tell someone, like, dude, put your weights back, and then I'm gonna get shot in the parking lot.
Yeah, I mean, it's a problem. You never know. Let's see. Tacoma Swifty said, I had a phone call rejoining, so I got to go back and listen to what I missed, which is a good reminder. YouTube, if you just joined us now and here's the thing. if you're not subscribed to this channel, that's fine. Totally cool. The biggest difference, there are two. One, you won't be able to use the emotes that we have in this chat. Two, if you are subscribed, you can rewatch our on-demand shows right here on Twitch. If you are not subscribed, you got to go over to YouTube. That's just a way that we've been able to kind of separate things in order to make at least a small dent in how we get to monetize what we've done.
Yeah.
Because
Pretty
at
cool.
least YouTube will run some ads. I don't know if Twitch does that if you're a subscriber. They shouldn't do that if you're a subscriber on our on-demand channel.
Right.
So, and Erica P said, Twitch won't let me resub yet. I think it's too early in the day. Yeah, it's like, it has to be exactly a month, right? From the time that you
So weird.
subscribed originally.
Well, today was a very successful Monday.
I think it was.
We covered a lot of things. First of the month. I love a fresh Monday start on the 1st.
Oh, yeah.
It's nice.
I'm trying to think if I don't think I care.
Oh, I love it.
I think wouldn't have been a clean start if it was yesterday.
Not
Sunday was the
really, 'cause,
first.
like, who knows what's going on a Sunday? No one knows what day of the month it is.
No tech issues yet, Lenny. There's still a minute or so left of the show. This whole thing can crap out. What, Carla Marie?
We'll do it tomorrow.
Okay. We will do whatever Carla Marie just said tomorrow. Thank you very much for hanging out with us. If you haven't done so yet, please give a listen to the Morning Show podcast. Like we said earlier in the day, all you got to do is search for the Morning Show podcast. 4 words. We should be the top one up there. Appreciate you, and we will see you tomorrow.
Peace out.
Peace out.